Hey guys, I wanted to talk today about how to earn easy gold. How to get about 300,000 in, 8 minutes or so. And you may be wondering, how can you get 300,000 in 8 minutes? It's actually really, really simple. It's going to be give or take a little bit. It takes a little bit of work in the beginning, but after that, it's pretty much guaranteed. No hassle, no trouble of searching for someone. So the first thing you have to do is you have to go into the leaderboards and you have to just start searching for people that have a good amount of loot. So you should do this in the morning because that's the time when everyone's going to be reset. You're not going to be playing as much. So in the morning you'll see everyone will have high loot counts. So you'll go up the leaderboards, check for someone. Once you start stumbling across people that have 100,000 or 120,000, you're going to want to star them. So you're going to want to star them. I'm not starring this person just for demonstration purposes. So you found someone that has a lot of money. You star them. They go into your favorites list. So you pull up your favorites list, which is over here. And then now you have a list of, let me see, I believe 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people can fit in here. And then you go and click on the one you want to attack. So this is the person that I have favorited and I personally love stealing my money from because it's super easy. Every time I log on, and it's been a few hours, he will always have 123,000 in gold. So I can attack him for 123,000, and I really apologize if you are simple OLG. Sorry that I raid you 15 times a day or so. I apologize, but you need a better base. So you raid this person that you found, and like I said, it takes some time to find the people that have 100,000. You got to search up and down the leaderboards, and you don't want to just find one person. You want to find a couple, because what you may be noticing is that one person that has over 100,000, he may have just raided and has a lot of gold stored up. This simple old person here, he always has 125,000 for me to steal, no matter what. If he actually played and raided some money and got some gold, he'll have more gold for me to steal. But his default number is 125,000 or 123,000, right around there. So you want to find someone that has a default number that is extremely high. I don't know how the game programs the default number, because most people won't have that high of a number. Most people will have, a 60 or 70,000 default number. But for some reason, certain players, depending on how they match up to you or whatnot, some game mechanic that is not known to us will always have an insane amount of loot. After you have been offline for a few hours, you log back on. So this is one of them, and like I said, you'll find them occasionally. It takes a little bit of time. It takes probably about 10 minutes of searching the leaderboards, because you want to find 4 or 5 people that have over 100,000. If you're a little bit lower in trophy level and king level, that does seem to affect the loots that you can find. So if you're lower, if you're like a level 30 king or in the like 1500 trophy range, you'll probably only be able to find people that are like 70,000 or 80,000 loot, but that will still be very, very good for you at that current level with your current throne room. So if you find, you just pretty much you're trying to find the outliers. You're trying to find the people that have a lot of loot. So after you beat him, it goes really quick because he's easy base to defeat. You go back into your favorites list, you click him again, and you can still rate him for 94,200 gold. So we're going to rate him again. Exact same setup. If you want, you can add a different type of soldier. So I only use a very few amount of cannons here and knights to beat his base, and I could just spawn a bunch of R blasters or whatever else in my third troop slot, or I could even just not even use cannons here either, and put, if I only have 2 troop slots, put something else in the cannon slot, put like archers, and I could just spawn archers to help me unlock the achievement for spawning archers. Because every troop has an achievement that you have to spawn, 5,000, 50,000 of the said troop to unlock the free gems. So, of course, you're going to always spawn a ton of knights, so you're not going to need to, to do anything to get that achievement, because knights are the bread and butter of the game, the troop that you use the most. But some of the harder troops, like the Pyromancer and the Froster, things that you never ever attack with, you can actually just go into this base or whoever base you found that is very easy and that is giving you a lot of loot, and you can use the Froster as a secondary troop. And that's what I'm going to do on my next playthrough of this guy's base, is I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about there. I'm going to put the Froster on, and I'm going to put the Pyromancer on as well. And so you can see that I'm going to start spawning those guys just for the heck of it. I don't need all the knights. If you'll notice, all my troops up here, there's tons and tons of troops. We still have 60 seconds left. Now we're down to 50. So we had 50 seconds left, and we had like a bajillion freaking knights and a couple cannons. So I didn't need all those troops. My hero probably could have defeated the base solely by itself. So again, about 2 minutes passed. I got another 92 or 93,000. So now I'm up to about 210 or 220,000. So I'm going to go back into my favorites again. So my third attack, and I'm going to go and attack the exact same person, Simple Olg, and now he's giving me 72,000. So in 3 attacks, I'm gaining 300,000 gold, give or take a few thousand. So that's amazing. And then I can change up the troops, like I said. So I want to bring out my Frosters, and I want to bring out my Pyromancers this time, just to help me unlock the achievement. I'm going to go ahead and attack him again. And now this time, I'm going to, spawn Frosters and Pyromancers just for the heck of it, because his base is so easy that it doesn't matter what troops I really bring out. I can still defeat his base with no problem whatsoever. I will bring out a few knights just because knights, are the bread and butter, and they do help in a lot. So you can see I have knights now. I have a decent army of Frosters and Pyromancers. And it's just a different setup, but it's going to be the same thing. We may not be able to beat his base as quick as before, but we finished his base with 50 some odd seconds left on the clock. So we had tons and tons of free time. And so now you can see, look back there, I have, 3 Frosters or 3 Pyromancers, whatever they are. And I got a whole bunch more coming. So that right there is helping me unlock my gem achievement, which is going to give me free gems for spawning Pyromancers and Frosters in battle. As you can see, I haven't spawned any more really knights. I spawned just Pyromancers and Frosters. I still have a pretty good sized army of Frosters and Pyromancers. Or I mean knights, I should say. And I do have a pretty good army of Frosters and Pyromancers back here. And you can see they're all sitting back there. They're doing a little bit of damage, but they don't do that much damage. So again, we almost got to the castle gate with about the same amount of time. 55 seconds left on the clock. I don't want to attack it. I want to build up some more troops. So I'm just going to sit back with my hero, not do anything, build out some more Frosters and some Pyromancers. So you can see the Pyromancers, the spells actually appear to have a better graphic once they level up. They become more flashy and catchy. The graphics on the Pyromancers and spells look extremely cool. They put a lot of work in that stuff. It's a great feature there that as you level your troops up, it appears that they also, increase in spell strength. So as you can see, 3 fights. So about 7-8 minutes, and we got 300,000 in gold. As you can see up here, our gold's at 318. So you may be wondering, well, why don't we just keep doing this over and over again? Well, you can, but every time the gold goes down on the person that you're fighting. So now this time I'm going to get 56,000 for attacking him. Sure, why not? I'll go ahead and attack him. I'm out of food, so it's asking me to collect my farms. Collect my farms. Do the same thing. I will push out Pyromancers and Frosters to help me unlock those gems that I need. So as you see, every time you raid the person, his loot goes down, and it's not just his loot. Everybody's loot is going to go down. So it doesn't really matter to attack other people when you're farming gold. There will be a little bit more in other people's loot, but not that much. It'll be like a 5 to 10,000, difference. So this guy gave us 55,000, I think it is, this time or so. So someone might be able to give us 60,000 if we have another person that gives us a good amount of loot. So if you want, you can mix it up and attack a different person. But I'm just doing it for this demonstration to show you how to farm and how to unlock free gems by using troops that you normally don't use in battle against someone that you know you can easily defeat. Because spawning 5,000 pyromancers and 5,000 frosters, that takes a lot of battles. So if you can use this tip to help you get a couple free gems here and there, the achievements are typically about 5 to 10 free gems, up to 20 or so on the troop spawning. So that's not too bad. You get free 20 or 30 gems out of it. It takes a little bit of time, but like I said, you don't need any other troops. And it's also cool to see the pyromancers shooting out the fireballs with the big splash damage. So you can see we're almost done here, and it has been a little shy of 10 minutes for us to actually defeat the opponent about 4 times. So this time I didn't have as many knights. It's going to be a lot closer. We still have 30 seconds, but we have a big chunk of troops that are coming towards the gate. And they actually appear to be all frosters and pyromancers. So this is going to be very interesting. We may not actually be able to beat the gate with this kind of army, but we're going to see. So you can see frosters and pyromancers, they don't do hardly any damage to the gates. I need my knights there. The knights are coming slowly but surely. So unfortunately we are going to lose this fight because I spawned way too many pyromancers and frosters. So that's something you have to be careful of. I thought I had some knights back there, but I did not. So I'm going to lose some trophies, and that's going to take a hit out of me. No big deal. Again, got 40,000 out of that. But yeah, you do have to be a little careful about not spawning too many of the frosters and pyromancers, because as you can see, they cannot defeat the castle gate. So we'll recap that. So you find someone in the leaderboards. You make sure they have a decent chunk of loot. You store them by clicking on the star button right there into your favorites list. It's that simple. When you want to take them out, you just unclick the star, and then they appear in your favorites list over here. If you are a little bit lower trophy count and hero level, you won't find someone that has 100 or 120,000. You'll probably find someone that has like 80 or 70,000. It does appear that as you level up and you get higher in the trophy count, that the available loot increases, and that only makes sense because as you get higher, every upgrade costs 500,000 or more gold. So if the game is still only giving you 70,000 every raid, you're not ever going to be able to upgrade anything because you're going to need to raid like 7 or 8 times to get one upgrade. So you're able to find better loot as you progress in the game, which is great, helps you upgrade, but you also have to know how to look for it, and you have to know that you can farm the same person over and over and over again, and then occasionally you'll find someone that has 300 or 400,000 in loot, but most of the time those are someone that is currently raiding and grabbing other people's loot and building up their loot. And most of the people are very smart about it, is once they raid and they take a whole bunch of money, they're trying to get to a certain goal, and once they get to that goal, they spend it all. Because if you store, say, 600,000 in gold, the very first opponent that attacks you will probably take about 300,000 of your gold. They'll probably take about half of your gold. That's what I've noticed in the defense log, is that once you have a lot of gold, the very first person that attacks you will end up being able to steal about half of your gold. And you can see it's all very small over here. This one guy was able to steal 50,000 because at that time only had about 100,000. And you'll really notice it if you have over 500,000 in gold. You'll come back on and you'll be like, oh, they stole 300,000 of my gold or 200,000 of my gold. and it's because you have a lot of gold. So whenever you have a lot of gold, you need to get a gold shield, and that's going to do it.